Good morning. It has been a rough morning trying to get this live stream up and going. I can tell you that. And I'm going to be drinking water throughout today. So if you see me moving slowly, that has to do with the technical difficulties. For some reason, my camera it has lost its mind this morning. So we're just going to roll with the punches this morning. So if you are watching this morning, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know where you all are chiming in from. And I'm going to wait a few minutes for me to get my Instagram live up and going. Let me make sure that I am on live. So let me go ahead and get this going. And this is just part of it, especially if you're going to do virtual. It's just one of those things that you're going to have to deal with. Let me grab my phone. If you're going to um, engage virtual audience, sometimes technology does not want to do that which it's supposed to do. And that was me this morning, um, trying to get this up and going, and I still haven't gotten it up on on Instagram because that was one of the streams that I was supposed to. Let me see if I can. Oh, here it is. So it says that I'm streaming on Instagram. Okay, so we'll see how that works. Um, Interesting, but it won't let me go live. Let me see. I'm trying to pull that stream up. Give me 1 second. Nope. Well, it says I'm live streaming over there. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I need to make a few adjustments to this right quick. There we are. All right. So for those of you all who are new to my channel, my name is Michelle Williams, aka the live streaming teacher. I am currently a teacher, but what I am doing for educators and educator professionals who are in the business world, who are looking to take their or create their own stage, or they're looking for a way to bring a virtual piece to their audience. That's what I do on this channel. So what I'm going to do is show you, this is me as a teacher. That was last year. As a teacher with some of my students, I teach mathematics and This is me as a live streamer. You can see my messy desk and all. So that's who I am. And at the current moment, um, I had a tree fall on my house. It's been a year. So I'm in litigation actually with my insurance company. So it's a mess. Just know that. So that's why I have this whole heat situation going on. It's worse this morning because one of my portable air conditioners went out. So I have to send that back to the company. So just know that I have a lot of things going on in addition to this whole set situation. So let's go ahead and get started. This today I'm talking about engaging virtual audiences. So what I teach is the it's a framework that I created for people who want to start live streaming or creating a virtual audience. So I'm going to go through that very quickly. Teaches for stands for technology. I use eCam. Sometimes I use um, Restream. The E is for engagement. Engagement can be student to instructor. That will be people in your audience. And then it can be student to student and it can be student to content. How are they engaging with the content? So, A are your activities. If you are someone who is trying to engage virtual audiences, create your own stage, host virtual workshops, then you have to have activities that the your workshop participants are going to engage or participate in. C is for conversation, and H is for help. What are the participants' next steps? Can the participants contact you if they have any questions? Oops, wrong one. So, what we are doing here today is I am teaching you or giving you some tips on how to engage a virtual audience. This past week, I had the opportunity to present at the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. I said I was a um, math teacher. So I'm going to share how, because a lot of you all are going to be taking your in person content and trying to create a virtual lesson with it. So I'm going to bring up my slide deck from this past week. Let me see. Let me change this. This is another thing that went bananas. Let me bring it down. Very good. So this is my slide deck from the NCTM conference. And as you can see, it's something that I have done in my membership over and over again because I talk about problem solving all the time with my membership, but it's really more of a focus now because teachers are struggling with it. So in my business, this has become a focus, and now I'm creating in person content as well as virtual content. So I'm going to show you some of the components of an engaging audience in person. So what I did is I used Padlet and I put in questions to break the monotony of it. So these are some of the things I do in person. The transitions, there are questions, learn the difference. I ask questions reading difficulties? Are they math difficulties? And then I use a lot of pictures. This is something that you should be using in a virtual audience as well as an in-person audience. If you don't have a lot of pictures, you are going to lose your audience. You're going to lose them. Also, I try to make things very real life. So this is something that I use um, to make things very real life. Like this is an anchor chart that I use. So if what I tell people especially is you have to show, not tell. You can't show things to your audience, and I mean not show things to your audience. So back to also the text. When you are creating your slides for your virtual audience, you definitely need to look at the text. Definitely need to look at that text, because what will happen is if you have too much text, people generally check out. They will check right on up out of your and start doing other things, because what I do know, life does not stop happening. It doesn't. Life is happening for your people um as well as your actual audience, and it's happening for you. So that's what I want you all to understand. This is not something that you are actually just putting out there with a whole bunch of text for people to read. Like again, here we are. We talk about, hey, let's make this real life to people who are in our audience. So here's some more anchor charts that I have taken. And what this can be is something from your business that you actually use in your audience. Some other components are if you're an educator, I use student work all the time, because a lot of the teachers need ideas. If you are a business owner and an educator who is moving into the virtual space, this is a great opportunity for you to actually bring in some of the things that you have done. I also bring in a lot of my blog posts, just a whole bunch of things so that people can see. The brain does not think in pictures. I mean, does not think in, it thinks in pictures. It's not an abstract process. So, what I'm telling you all, show, not tell. And this is something that you can use in for your audience. I'm trying to share my screen. Hold on 1 second. Because I was supposed to do this, but I could not get it up and going. All right, so another thing that I use is examples of questions. If you're an educator and you are moving into the virtual space, even if you are a workshop person and you do a lot of conferences, I'm gonna be honest with you. I started hosting my own workshops, virtual workshops, because I do not like to travel to conferences all of the time. I don't. So that was one of the reasons why I created my own stage, because it was just easier for me to do that. Um, I can't, and it's cheaper. So if with the skyrocketing cost of for conferences and things like that, a lot of people are looking for virtual options. And if you're in the educational consulting business, if you're in the educator space where you are moving from the classroom, if you have retired, it is it is a good idea to um, take your in-person content and create a virtual workshop or content for your social media in that virtual space, but it's not going to be the same as your in person because the people aren't there. They're not there. So you have to find a way to engage those people and keep them connected, especially if you're going to have a an offer at the end. And when I say offer, if you're trying to sell people something in your for your audience, excuse me, let me take a sip of water. For your audience, you have to keep the people engaged until the end. So, taking your in person workshops, your in person content, and making it virtual, you're going to have, as a presenter of in person content, and you're trying to create a virtual stage and an audience, you're going to have to make some changes in that. How does that look? Well, it looks like this. Hold on one. Screen share. I share when I'm in person, I do share resources. I also share, this is something that remains the same with my virtual workshops. I still share the same content, the same resources. One thing I did do differently this time when I was at NCTM, I I use Stampede Social. Stampede Social is one of those direct messenger things. And for some reason this says LIN. The K must have. So what I did is took my Stampede Social and connected the people that were in person and connect them to my Instagram account. Now, one of the drawbacks about Stampede Social is that it doesn't have it's not for Facebook. That's one of the drawbacks. I didn't really care for ManyChat. ManyChat was a lot, a lot, a lot. And some teachers who are older, you have to know your audience. Some of them do not have Instagram accounts. I found that out. So, um, notice in my slide decks, I have a lot of visuals. I do not use um, a lot of text. I know I've seen a lot of, especially in person, they use a lot of text when it comes to presenting. Your slides are not for you to read verbatim, it's to guide you and to help you engage your audience. Also, I always use research. You don't have to post the whole article. It's a snippet to guide you so that it creates that know, like, and trust and credibility that what you're saying is actually research based. Because in the educator space, you know that they want to know what is research. So my session was um connecting math to reading because I'm trying to get information about how to improve your students' test scores by focusing on the reading part. As math teachers, we constantly focus on the other part, which is doing the math. And we always negate and miss the whole reading part, which is a problem. So, this is one way to take your in person content and turn it to a virtual session. What I am going to tell you is that you're not going to need all those slides. For me, if I'm using in-person content, which I am going to use this slide deck, I'm going to cut it down because I think this slide deck it has almost 30 slides. There's no way that you're going to keep your audience's attention in with this. So, what I want you all to understand as I wrap this up, because it's 10:40 and I didn't want to go that long, is I want you all to understand, don't reinvent the wheel. Take your in-person content. If you wrote a blog post, turn it into a workshop, a virtual workshop. And if it's something that your audience really likes, which you'll know by your analytics, and I'll talk more about what KPIs to look for, key performance indicators, where you can turn that information that you put out there in a blog post or video, you can turn that into a whole workshop. And next week, I'm going to introduce one of my favorite tools that I just started using to help with that process. So I hope that this was something that you could use. It was very informative. I'm always just a comment away. If you have any comments or concerns, questions, just drop it in the comment section. If you have not downloaded my virtual workshop roadmap, I'm going to drop that in the comment section as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all in my next live stream. Bye-bye.